Barry 1-0 opening day defeat at Dundela here this afternoon. Just what was your thoughts on the game, first and foremost?
Yeah, listen, we're disappointed. It's not the result that we wanted, but I don't think we were particularly poor. I thought there was patches that we would feel we should have done better. The first 45 minutes, I felt we were well on top. The goal was a sucker punch. To be fair, it's a poor clearance, but it's a top strike to finish it. There's very little you can do against that, from my perspective, or even a team perspective. So you can't come in during the week and work on trying to block somebody's shot from that distance the way he struck it. So, but we recovered okay in the first half. In pre-season, the first game back, you know your second half performances is maybe not just going to be as fluid as what you would hope, because players are still building competitive match time, and you could see that in the second half game, just generally both sides. I think probably suited them better. It was a wee bit more ratty, it was a wee bit more turnover, a wee bit less composure, and it's just the way a championship games turn, particularly when you're trying to chase them. But even at that, we battled well, but you could see the legs running out a wee bit. That's not a sign that we're unfit or anything like that. It's just a sign that we need to keep building competitive match minutes. And people will say, "Oh, you played 7 games in pre-season," but there's no substitute to what we got today. And some of our players that are new and fresh got an introduction to championship football, which again is nothing like pre-season games. So that'll go into their bank, and it'll be positive for us going forward, because it gives them an expectation of what to expect now going forward. So we're not frustrated inside. We need to pick out the points that we're good at and see, can we keep building on them points. Lots of areas. I don't think I would highlight too many areas that I thought we were completely poor on. We'd like to see us a wee bit more fluid in front of goal. We had lots of half opportunities that we didn't test the keeper with, but we did on a couple of opportunities, and on a different day they might hit the net. So it's not finger pointing. The result just didn't go the way we wanted it. Probably was the game that we expected it to be, but it's gone. Another couple of training sessions this week now. We give ourselves now something we can work off today, which is brilliant for me as manager. And then you focus to coming back to the showgrounds next week on a pitch that's better sized for us, that we're more familiar with, and certainly the new players that are in the squad are more familiar with it. So looking forward to that.
You talk about sort of opportunities that just didn't go our way. Sort of like a sliding doors moment. Kieran O'Connor has a brilliant opportunity. Made his own brilliant opportunity in the first 5 minutes. Keeper rooted to the spot. Ball hits the post, and then a few minutes later they score a wonder goal. I mean, it's those sort of things that you can't legislate for, and that's nothing to do with performance or attitude or effort or application or anything.
Not at all. And that's it. And you can feel sorry for yourself for that if you want, but it doesn't gain you anything. And I suppose that's what everyone will remember the game by the last 15 minutes, and will forget that as an opportunity. And I would say, not everyone will agree with me, but that's a game defining, situation or opportunity, and you're saying it massively changes the complexion of the game so early on. Even look at the big save. The keeper made a big save. What was that? 10 minutes from the end. That's massive. So we did create good opportunities. We did test. We beat the keeper, bar the post, and he had to pull off. And there's probably another couple outside that Big Hog's done really well in, and that doesn't count the half opportunities that we will be more fluid with going forward. So it's not that sometimes your frustration of getting beat can overshadow when you can make comments about how we played and how the game panned out and all the rest, and they're probably not truthful. They're just off the cuff comments that you make when you're in a rash decision making state. So I'm not like that at the minute, and we're trying to stay very focused. We know the challenges. We've taken a lot of younger players and inexperienced players in the panel. That's no excuse for getting beat today, but some of the factual parts of where we are, we have a full rebuild from where we came from last season. That doesn't happen over 7 weeks in pre-season. There'll be good and bad. There'll be patches where it's not consistent enough. There'll be patches where it's brilliant. And today there was patches like that. But it's results driven. And the game gets scrappy in the last third because we're chasing and they're hanging on to it. So that's football. It happens at the top level, and sometimes you have to dump your qualities and what you think you should be doing to try and get that win. Today we done that. We ended up a wee bit more direct in the final 15 minutes. Didn't work out for us, and that's fine. There's no problem.
Just lastly, obviously, first home game of the season next Saturday, home to Limavady United, one of the promoted teams. They've made a lot of sort of quite high-profile signings, but they've been beaten comfortably on their opening day this afternoon. How good will it be to get back and hopefully start a winning run at home, because it has been talked about a while, but getting off on the right foot, I suppose, in front of the home fans.
Yeah, but listen, it brings or shouldn't bring any extra pressure to our group of players for needing a win at the showgrounds. We need a win every week, especially when we're at the showgrounds, because we know if we can take half our games this year at the showgrounds and win them half games, it gives you an immense opportunity to hit your targets at the end of the season. We've been beat today, they've been beat today. Makes no difference to what we need to do next Saturday. They'll be saying exactly the same. Regardless of the stats, this team aren't part of that stat, or half of them, 3/4 of them. They don't share that stat, so we shouldn't be worried about what they done last year or the year before or anything like that. It's very much a case of we need a bounce back win. We need opening day. It didn't go according to plan, and the next chance we have to change that is at home at the showgrounds, and we should be looking at that like an opportunity in front of our home fans to be brilliant today. Next week, I've no doubt they'll be brilliant and they'll be vocal and they'll do what we need them to do on their side of things, and we need to make sure that we do our job on our side of things so that they've something to shout about. Hopefully that won't be shouting at me for what we're not doing. So we should look forward to it. The players should look forward to it. It's a home game. Showgrounds is brilliant. It's the pitch. It's where we want to win all our games. And the next game is there, and it's Limavady, and whether it's Limavady or any other team, should never change what we want to do, which is go out, compete and win a game, get our first 3 points on the board.